Hi, my name is Murch-Shafer, and this is my story. So I was born in Storm Lake, Iowa in April 6, 2001, and when I was about 1 year old, I moved to Blair, Nebraska, where I have lived ever since. A senior in high school now. I can't say I've regretted any of it. But now, just some quotes that really resonate with me and I can really see in my everyday life. So, an FBLA speaker at the National Fall Leadership Conference my senior year said, "If it's worth it, then work for it." I attended a workshop where a speaker spoke about ways to interact with people and how to go through life. I really enjoyed that workshop, and this quote that he said really resonated with me. To me, this quote is about my desire to work so hard at what I do, but what I do being something that I love. So working so hard for something that I love, and how important it is to do something that I love, and not just get caught up in the everyday monotonous scheme of things. Another quote is, "For every failure, there's an alternative course of action. You just have to find it. When you come to a roadblock, take a detour." And this was by Mary Kay Ash. This just has something to say about how I go through life. I never think that there's anything I can't do. I just think I might not be able to do that thing in this specific way. There's always a way I can work around this problem. I just have to find another way. And this quote is similar to the last one, but kind of just speaks about my desires and how I work through going through life. It's by Abraham Lincoln. So you can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be. Do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose. So Abraham Lincoln is a great role model for me because of his honesty and his pure values, and really his desire to be the best he can be. I really want to be the best I can be, and this shows where I want to go with my life. I truly believe I can go anywhere I want to in life as long as I work hard enough in life. And that this quote just speaks to that. And another quote by Abraham Lincoln, "It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up." So this speaks on how I know I'm not always going to have success throughout my life, throughout my career, but I'm always going to have the desire to get back up and to keep working, and that's really what's going to lead me to success. So Blair High School is the high school that I have been at my freshman through senior year, and I've taken all of the honors and advanced placement courses at Blair High School, and the clubs that I'm most involved in is FBLA, National Honor Society, Quiz Bowl, First Take Challenge Robotics, cross country, and soccer. And I'm currently an AAP mentor, which is like a homeroom mentor, and I help tutor students through the peer program. And I've had a really good time, and I've learned so much and developed so much throughout my time at Blair High School. So now, just my involvement in FBLA. Sadly, I wasn't able to start FBLA my freshman year, but I participated in FBLA my sophomore year through my senior year, gradually increasing with involvement. So all the service activities I did my sophomore year was I started off the year during the summer actually, helping a police officer and some other FBLA students paint "Buckle Up" on the road leaving the high school to remind students to buckle up. And then additionally, I helped at the Parent-Teacher Organization Carnival, at the Recycling Center, at the Kiwanis Halloween Party, and the Destination Imagination Regional Qualifier at our high school. And the non-service activities I did my sophomore year is I went to the August meeting, the September meeting, and then I went to the Path to Success conference. I sold raffle tickets. I went to the January FBLA social. I baked some cookies for teacher appreciation during FBLA week, and I wore my FBLA shirt during FBLA Awareness Day to spread FBLA throughout the school. I went to our February meeting. I made a food donation for DI, and I went to our March meeting. And because I was involved sophomore year, to the extent that I was able to go to our state leadership conference in 2017. So in my junior year, you can already see that I've done much more my junior year than my sophomore year. And I started out the year helping with blood drive calling, and then I helped at the YMCA fun run, and that's actually during the summer. And the blood drive calling was at the end of my sophomore year, but it counted toward my junior year. And then I helped manage and help at the football concessions. I again helped at the parent-teacher organization carnival. I helped at the Kiwanis Halloween party, and then I helped set up for the Sugar Plum Festival. I helped make a food drive delivery with a food drive we did across our district to the local food pantry. I helped at a technology class which taught technology to senior citizens in our community. I went around to nursing homes with a group of FBLA students and caroled to them. And then again, I helped at the Destination Imagination regional qualifier at our high school. And then, so the non-service activities I did was I went to our FBLA picnic, which is also a meeting. I went to our area meeting. I went to the installation of members. I went to the Pastry Puffins fundraising meeting. I toured Memorial Community Hospital. I went to our Pizza Hut meeting in November. I went to the National Fall Leadership Conference in St. Louis. I sold Pastry Puffins as a fundraiser for our chapter. And then I had a job shadow at Mid-American Computer Corporation on American Enterprise Day. Then I went to our Pizza Hut meeting in December. And because of my involvement, I was able to go to the State Leadership Conference again my junior year. So now my senior year, which is also this year, I started off helping over the summer at the Kiwanis barbecue, and then I helped at the YMCA fun run. I helped set up the school for 2 days because we had some construction in our school, and I helped teachers move some stuff around. I helped manage the football concessions again, and helped a couple different days for a couple different organizations during that time. And then I helped at the parent-teacher organization carnival and the recycling center. I was a leader and responsible for the making of Halloween decorations. And in addition, I helped our advisors and another officer serve watermelon to all sports members during the fall. And then I helped at the Cargill Halloween party. I had another job shadow, this time at Cargill on American Enterprise Day. And then I helped at the Sugar Plum Walk, and I helped with the food pantry delivery. And then the non-service that I have done for my senior year is I went to the banquet at actually the end of my junior year. I went to the member installation. I went to the Fall Leadership Conference for our state, and then I went to the National Fall Leadership Conference. I toured Cargill. I went to our November meeting. I did some fundraising points. And then I actually was able to give 2 speeches related to Veterans Day, one at a school assembly and one at an American Legion meeting. And senior year is only partially done, so I hope to be super involved throughout the rest of the year. And I'm so excited for what the future of FBLA lies for me. So, being an involved member my senior year, I was able to stop in and talk to my advisor, Mrs. Olson, almost every day, maybe every other day throughout the year. And I was able to ask her lots of questions just throughout the year. And in addition, I got to sit down and interview her as part of my American Business Achievement Award. So I started off by asking her what's her favorite part about working at Blair High School. And she said, "My favorite part of my job is working with the students. In my area, it is very exciting to see students develop important life skills that I know will help them in their future education and/or jobs. I especially like working with the students outside of the classroom doing the FBLA projects and activities. Even though this is very time-consuming, it is incredibly rewarding. Being an FBLA advisor truly is the best part of my job." So I really see this within Mrs. Olson. You can really see that she cares about what she does, and especially within FBLA. She really wants to be there in order to help kids develop into the best business people and just develop into having the best career that they can have for them. And then next I asked her why she chose this career in teaching and the industry. And then she said, "I decided to be a teacher when I was very young. As soon as I was in first grade, I just loved being in the school environment, and I knew this was exactly what I wanted to do. School was so exciting, positive, and rewarding. Growing up, I had an older brother with special needs. Even though I was 4 years younger than him, I was able to help teach him many things. I will never forget when I was in first grade teaching him how to tie his shoes. We worked on this task for about 2 weeks. This was a task that he had struggled with and was very frustrated he could not accomplish. I will never forget the look on his face the first time he successfully tied his own shoes. He was so incredibly proud and happy that he was finally able to do this everyday task that many of us take for granted. Growing up, I was able to teach him many things, but more importantly, he taught me so much about being patient, kind, and to teach others with respect and dignity. I will forever be grateful for the important life lessons he taught me. When I went off to college, I thought I would be an English teacher or a foreign language teacher. I knew I wanted to teach at the high school level. During my sophomore year of college, I decided to become a business teacher. I wanted to have a backup plan in case I was not successful with teaching or did not enjoy this career. I believed it was such an important job that I should do it only if I absolutely loved it. I also knew I could be very marketable in the business area if teaching was not my perfect fit. Even though my degree is in business administration with a teaching endorsement, I have always taught school. I learned very quickly that I wanted to work with young adults and have that positive impact on their lives. This has been my dream job for the past 40 years. So I can really see how she cares about teaching and that she really loves her job and being able to impact students in the way that she does. And it really shines through, and it really shows us that she cares about us, and she cares about us developing into the knowledgeable young adults. And then upon that, I asked her, do you have a leadership style? And she said, my leadership style is to lead by example while modeling positive citizenship and tolerance for others. I would never ask a student to do a task that I was not willing to do myself. In addition, I have always prided myself on being a positive role model for others. I have always tried to treat everyone fairly and professionally regardless of the situation. An effective leader guides others to success and does not seek personal attention for their efforts. Through the years, I have watched my students develop their leadership skills, and I am incredibly proud of their accomplishments. I know that serving as a positive role model for them has helped me achieve their own success. So she really does lead by example, and she models the positive citizenship and the tolerance for others. And she really, she does the monotonous things herself. She doesn't have different students do her grading for her, but she does every little thing, and she models the perfect citizen for us in the best way that she can. And then I asked her, what are some of the biggest worries or challenges within Blair High School and the future business leaders of America? And what keeps you up at night? And then she said, nothing keeps me up at night. I am very proud of our school and our FBLA program. I know that if I offer guidance and suggestions to my members, they can and will be quite successful. Like many schools, the greatest challenge facing Blair High School right now are budget concerns. It is often difficult to not be able to purchase things you would like to have for your classroom or chapter. However, these budget constraints have required me to be more creative in my classroom and chapter, which is a good thing. You simply learn to do more with less. And this is really apparent, especially within the business department of Blair High School. Mrs. Olson really, she hasn't let the budget crisis within our school and the budget concerns affect her teaching, and hasn't let it affect the entire business area. She really finds different ways to maintain the high level of education while not having to require as much money as standard classrooms would require. And then I asked her, how did you get started with teaching? She said, I began my teaching career at Arlington High School in the fall of 1977. I taught 1 year and resigned to be a stay-at-home mom. In the fall of 1980, my superintendent called to see if I was interested in returning to the classroom. I did this and taught my second year at Arlington High School. It was very clear that if I was going to remain marketable, I would need to keep teaching as computers and technology were having a huge impact in the business education classroom. After my second year at Arlington, a part-time position became available at Blair High School. Because I was from the Blair community, I applied for the opening and was hired. From 1981 to 1989, I taught half days, which was perfect for me as my children were very young. In the fall of 1989, I began teaching full-time at Blair High School and have remained in this role ever since. I can honestly say that I've absolutely loved my career, and I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to work in this area for 40 years. Every day is different, and students are amazing. So once again, she just kind of reiterates, and I can see that the students really matter to her, and the fact that she's teaching and influencing young people's lives the way that she is really matters to her, and really shows us how important that is to her and to us too. And then I asked, what has your career path looked like? Is there anything you'd do differently? And she said, I received my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Northwest Missouri State University in 1976. I graduated college in 3 years by taking additional classes each semester and attending during 2 summers. In the fall of 1976, I taught in the St. Joseph's, Missouri, and received my teaching endorsement. In 1984, I received my master's in vocational education from the University of Nebraska-Omaha. In addition, I have completed 37 graduate level hours beyond my master's degree. It is necessary to always be learning in order to effectively teach. One thing I would have done differently, if I could have, is to get my MBA, the Master's Degree in Business Administration. This would have allowed me to offer many of the courses I teach for dual credit. While I was getting my master's degree, the program I took allowed me to be certified to supervise the cooperative education program. I have had the opportunity to supervise our excellent cooperative education program from 1989 to 2015. This program allowed our students to participate in valuable internships in our local community. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts, this program was unlimited. So, Mrs. Olson, just being around her, you would know that the co-op program was something that really mattered to her, and she really cared about. She's always talking about how much of a great thing it is for the students, and even though because of the budget cuts, that the actual co-op program was eliminated, she's been able to kind of get around that and connect different students with businesses in the community looking for internships in order to kind of get around that budget cut situation. And then I asked her, what have been some of your biggest challenges during your career? How did you or do you deal with them? And she said, in my area, it is absolutely imperative to continue to learn and grow. Technology has had a huge impact on my career. When I started teaching at Blair High School in 1981, we had manual typewriters. Today, every class I teach extensively uses computers. It has always been a challenge to stay current and baby steps ahead of students to teach them valuable skills they need for future education and or employment. In order to achieve this goal, I spend many hours teaching myself new programs, attending classes and workshops, and prepare valuable lessons for my students. This is very time-intensive, but also very rewarding. So this gets into how much it matters to her to be the best teacher and the best influencer that she can be for the students. She does spend all that time learning different programs, and I've seen that throughout my years at Blair High School. And it's so cool to see how dedicated she is to FBLA and to her career in teaching. Then I asked her, what has made you feel successful working here at BHS and with FBLA? And she said, I have been very lucky to achieve success at Blair High School, both in the classroom and with my local chapter of the Future Business Leaders of America. During my teacher tenure, I have proudly watched my students be highly successful both in the classroom as well in state and national FBLA competitions. In addition, I was selected as the Career and Technical Education Department Chairperson in 2002. This position allowed me to provide valuable leadership and direction for my department. I have been recognized at the state and national level for my success with students. In 2013, I was recognized as a Nebraska Teacher of the Year Award of Excellence finalist for the Nebraska Teacher of the Year. In this same year, I was selected as a National Business Teacher of the Year. It was very exciting to be selected for both of these prestigious recognitions and to share these award ceremonies with my family. In addition, I was selected As the outstanding Nebraska FBLA advisor in 2009, I was appointed for a 3-year term to the FBLA National Board of Directors. This was very exciting and allowed me to learn so much. And like I've said, she is such a great teacher because she cares so much about it, and it's really showed in her success at the state and even the national level, which is quite amazing. And then kind of to go back to FBLA, I asked her, what is the single largest problem facing Blair High School's FBLA today? And she said, today the greatest problem facing Blair FBLA is to continue the history of success the chapter has enjoyed. Moving the state conference to a remote location will present many challenges. I am hoping to continue to provide guidance and support from the Sadlands so that this does not negatively impact our chapter. I am very proud of the legacy I have built, and I want Blair High School students to continue to have the opportunities they have enjoyed. So something interesting that's happening actually this year is Mrs. Olson is retiring. This is her last year within the high school as a teacher and within advising Blair FBLA. So she has kind of agreed to help out at Blair FBLA after she retires, and she's going to, no matter what anyone says. But something new facing our chapter is our state leadership conference is normally about a half an hour away from Blair High School, but now it's being moved to about 3.5 hours away. And so this is going to be really hard for our chapter to kind of transition, especially with having a new advisor, even if Mrs. Olson is here to help. And she's always able to get around the problems because she works so hard. And I'm sure our new advisor, Mrs. Schrick, will continue to do the same. And then I asked Mrs. Olson what her childhood was like, because that's really what shapes you into who you are today. So she said, I grew up on a large farm in northwest Missouri. I'm the youngest in my family and had 2 older brothers. Both of my parents grew up during the Great Depression and were incredibly hard workers. Neither of my parents had a high school education. My mother quit school in 8th grade. My father went through the 10th grade. Both found it necessary to quit school to provide money for their family to survive. Because of this, they valued education and stressed the importance of getting an education to their children. My childhood was challenging, to say the least. My father died on a Sunday afternoon at home when I was 10 years old. My mother stepped outside to work on the farm, and I inherited the task of cooking, cleaning, and taking care of all household chores. While this was not ideal, it certainly taught me the importance of working hard and being highly responsible. Both of my parents were also incredible savers and taught me the importance of being fiscally responsible. And then I asked Mrs. Olson who her role models were as a child. And she said, my role model was my mother. She was one of the brightest, kindest people I have ever met. She treated everyone with respect and held very high expectations of others. She taught me the importance of giving of yourself and having high expectations. If you think someone can be successful, they will be. If you don't think they can do something, they probably won't. I remember these valuable lessons every day when in the classroom. I try to let my students know that I know they can and will be successful. When students struggle, I try to remember they may not have learned this very important lesson in their own homes and help them realize the importance of working hard and never giving up on themselves. My mother has been gone for almost 19 years, and I miss her every day, but I also count my blessings every day for the profound impact she has had on my life. Not everyone is as lucky as I have been. So it really shines through that she treats everyone with respect and brings energy to any conversation and really any interaction. And she believes in her students, and she believes that they will be successful as they go through the future. And it shows in the students that they're confident in themselves and their ability to succeed in the world. And when interviewing her, she included this little message to me. And she said that it was fun to answer my questions. And she said, I know how incredibly successful your future looks. Always do your very best, and you will do great things. And this kind of shines through her role model. Her mother taught her how important it is to believe in someone. And just here, you can see how much she believes in me and my success going through in the future. And it really it shows in us too that we're confident in our own ability to succeed in the business world and just our careers in general. And now this is a speech that I wrote about FBLA. Its effect on me and its importance to me. So, the Future Business Leaders of America Club has helped transform me throughout my years of high school from a scared and uninvolved freshman to a confident and involved senior. When I first started high school, I was nervous for the big change. I missed out on joining FBLA early with all my friends, so I decided to not do FBLA my freshman year. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made. When sophomore year came around, I was a little more mature, and after only participating in 2 sports and 2 activities freshman year, I decided that I could do more. I spoke with the FBLA advisor, Mrs. Olson, about joining FBLA and got signed up early, ready for a big year of involvement in FBLA. Sophomore year, I was an involved member, and because of that, I got to go to our state leadership conference in April. While I was there, I took 5 different tests, and I received an honorable mention for one of them. I was involved sophomore year, but I knew I could be far more involved my junior year with a little more effort. I was one of the most involved juniors in FBLA at the beginning of the year, so I was given the title of class representative of the junior class for FBLA. I went to the National Fall Leadership Conference my junior year in order to improve my leadership abilities. I also attended the State Leadership Conference in April and participated in a team event and took tests. Knowing that my senior year was my last year in high school, and more importantly, my last year in FBLA, I knew that I had to set high goals for myself. I started my Business Achievement Awards over the summer, and so far I have completed my Future in Business BAA and started both Leader and America, with my Leader nearly completed. I plan to finish all levels of my BAA this year, in addition to all levels of the Community Service Awards. I was elected the officer position of Web Designer, and I'm helping lead the Partnership with Business project for the chapter. I gave 2 speeches through FBLA for Veterans Day, one to the entire school and one to a group of veterans. I attended the State Fall Leadership Conference, the National Fall Leadership Conference, and I plan on attending the State Leadership Conference and the National Leadership Conference later in the year. This year, I've been one of the most involved members in FBLA and hope to accomplish as much as I can for myself and my chapter. As a freshman, I wanted to go through school as fast as I could without being deeply involved in any organization. When I joined FBLA, I found an organization to work hard in that would help me if I gave my hard work and my time. FBLA has helped me mature from a freshman without a work ethic to a senior who finds value in hard work to help my chapter and myself progress in the world. So now I'm just going to talk about some other activities that have helped shape me into the person I am today and the person who I have developed into through FBLA. So the first activity is Destination Imagination. I participated in Destination Imagination during 5th grade to the 9th grade. I attended Global Finals 7th grade and 8th grade year, and I placed 21st and 19th respectively. So I met lifelong friends at Global Finals that I'm still friends with today. And on the left, that's me way back in the 8th grade with some friends I made there. And on the right, it's a picture of me with one of my friends actually from this year that I met in 8th grade through Destination Imagination. And it's really cool to see how both of us, or all of us, have developed into the hardworking individuals that Destination Imagination has had such a profound impact on. So the next activity is First Tech Challenge Robotics. Actually, before First Tech Challenge Robotics, there was First Lego League, which is like the younger kid version of the program, and I participated in that 4th grade to 7th grade, and then I participated in the First Tech Challenge 9th grade through 12th grade, and then kind of the leadership positions I've been in through that. I was a lead CAD, which is Computer Aided Design Engineer, my freshman year to my senior year, and I was a team captain my junior year and my senior year. And then during my junior year, our team was one of the top placing Nebraska teams at the Nebraska State Championship, and actually my senior year, we were one of the top placing teams again We actually were able to qualify for global finals this year that we will be attending pretty soon. And then cross country is another activity. I participated in cross country my freshman year through my senior year. And my junior year, I was voted the most inspirational teammate. And both my junior year and my senior year, I lettered in cross country. And again, my junior and senior year, I was awarded the academic all-conference runner. And another activity, which I actually have some friends from Destination Imagination in too, is National Honor Society. And I participated in National Honor Society junior year and senior year, which are the only 2 years you can participate within my high school. In my senior year, I was elected the officer position of team leader, so I was able to get some more leadership experience within National Honor Society. And another really cool thing I was able to participate in my senior year is I was an AAP mentor. And AAP is like our homeroom, but it stands for Academic Enrichment Program, which is basically a homeroom. And myself and another senior were able to kind of mentor and supervise these freshmen for like one half an hour period out of the day. And we were able to serve as role models and to help them if they had any questions, as well as teach them different study habits and everything that comes along with being in high school. Another activity is Quiz Bowl. So I was in Quiz Bowl my sophomore year through my senior year. And my senior year, I was actually able to be on our A team, or like our varsity team. And our varsity team placed third at actually 2 Wesleyan Invitationals my senior year. And I participated in band my 5th grade year through my 11th grade year. I played the trumpet, and I was also in marching band my 7th grade year through my 11th grade year, and I was in jazz band my 8th grade year and freshman year. And my junior year, we all went on a band trip to Florida, and I wasn't able to participate in a band my senior year solely because I didn't have enough space in my schedule because of AP and honors classes, so I'm really sad about that. And 4-H is probably the activities I've been involved in for the longest time. So from my 3rd grade year to my senior year, and I've had so many different experiences through 4-H. Both my freshman year and my sophomore year during the summer, I was a volunteer camp counselor at our state 4-H camp, and I qualified to present at state and for some different presentation and speeches that I've done. And then I've had so many items qualify to be judged at the state level across my long time of being in 4-H. And I was a president both my junior and my senior year in my robotics 4-H club, which was First Take Challenge robotics related. And I was an officer in my other non-robotics 4-H club. And actually, my senior year, I was able to become a 4-H ambassador for Washington County. And we were able to go to some different conferences. The biggest of them was the National Youth Summit on Agriculture in Washington, D.C., where we got to learn so much and meet people across the nation. It was super cool. And then through the high school, something that I was involved in is I was on the tech team. So every other day, I went over to the administration building for the district, and I helped fix broken technology, in addition to making a video of the activities during the fall of my senior year. It's just a collection of all the activities highlighted in a neat way, along with some music. And for the sake of time, I won't play it for you guys now, but it's really cool, and it will be included in the presentation. And now this kind of ties into my future. So I am planning on attending the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, majoring in mechanical engineering, and FBLA and robotics are kind of the 2 main things that have influenced me throughout my life. And so the robotics has tied me into my major, mechanical engineering, and my plans for after getting my bachelor's in mechanical engineering is to get a master's in business administration, or MBA, and that's FBLA that is really driven me to want to achieve that, and eventually, hopefully, work my way up to being the top of a company, of some engineering company. But thank you guys for listening, and I'm so excited for my future and FBLA and everything that my future has to offer.